Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Lessons. This is going to be episode number 8. Today we're going to be talking about how to talk to anybody, okay? I'm going to be giving you the number one topic that I think that majority of people, about like 99.9% of people, just love talking about. And this is going to unlock a lot of things for you. It's going to unlock new relationships, friendships, business partners potentially, and just a whole lot of conversations that you can have. Now, what is this topic? First of all, I want to mention, of course, that you pick up any self-help book or any book on, just interacting with people, making conversation with them, they're going to have mention of this in some type of way. And the number one thing that you need, the number one conversation trick, or just like to make people like you, it's super simple. Just make them talk about themselves. I promise you, this is going to change really just every conversation that you've ever had with really just anybody. That is people's favorite topic. It's themselves. It's not sports or basketball or football, or just makeup or anything. People's number one thing that they love to talk about is just themselves. And here's what I mean by that, right? Obviously, somebody's favorite topic to talk about can be basketball or football or sports, right? But that typically does not end up applying to everybody. And I understand what you're thinking. Hey, I hate talking about myself. This doesn't really apply to me. I'm telling you right now, you're probably wrong about that. You're just waiting for the chance for people to ask you, what are you interested in? What is your life story? And just questions based off of yourself. I promise you're going to enjoy it. The reason why everybody enjoys talking about themselves is because they're the hero in their own stories. Everybody loves to be the center of attention when they get to talk about themselves, and everybody else is just enamored by it, okay? If somebody finds you fascinating, I promise you're never going to want to shut up. But if somebody finds you disgusting, obviously you're probably going to want to sulk and just hide under a rock. I understand that it's dependent upon people's reaction, but we're talking about how you can make new friends, start new relationships, or just, get more business contacts, essentially. Everybody loves talking about their life story. I think the deeper psychological reason for this is obviously because everybody loves being the center of attention. Everybody wants to feel important. And everybody wants like that kiddish nature of like, hey, give me importance, right? And I think as kids, obviously, we were able to just cry and beg for attention from our parents or just society in general. And obviously, as adults, we kind of have to grow out of it. But that inner kid is still inside of us. So we still want to be the sun in everybody's solar system, right? You see your friends, you want them to like pay attention to you, right? In conversation or in hangouts or whatever it is. That is essentially, and they want you to pay attention to them. And how is that done? Obviously, you can talk about really just anything that's pertaining to them, right? Oh, hey, what business did you start? Or, oh, hey, you went to the Nuggets game last night. How was that? How was your experience? What did you get? What did you eat last night? Tell me something that you did recently that you're really proud of. Like just a whole lot of bullshit, just questions. Just keep on asking them about themselves. And I promise you, especially with people that you just meet, they're going to be like, man, that was probably the best conversation that I had. But in reality, you probably said like 15% of the words that were exchanged within that conversation, and 85% of it was literally just you listening to them talk, which is fine, which is great. Listening, I feel like, takes less effort than actually talking and replying to somebody. So I think it's just this super simple hack. I've done this quite often. I've done this like ever since I was a kid. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie like a really long time ago. I think it was like when I was like probably like 16 or 17 years old. And it did help. It did help a lot. And one of the things that he talked about in the book, and several other books, like I mentioned before, several other self-help books talk about the same concept, which is just people love to talk about themselves. So, and I don't think that that's ever going to change. I think people love being the knight in shining armor who's going to slay the dragon, and they love talking about their accomplishments. And I don't think that's ever really going to change. So I think you should just really just use it to your advantage, because they're never going to shut up about themselves. People love themselves way too much for them to shut up. And even if you like hate yourself, you probably are just waiting for the opportunity to just talk about yourself as well. But yeah, we all want to feel loved in some type of way. We all want to feel like people are fascinated by us and they pay attention to our story. And really just talking about it and giving somebody a lending ear just so they can have the spotlight for a couple of minutes, it's probably going to change a lot in your relationships. And I really highly recommend this, especially with people who you're just, trying to establish relationships with, right? Like if you're at an ice cream parlor, right, and it's a mom and pop shop, ask the guy like what he did before. Ask the guy what he did before he opened the business, right? I promise you, he's gonna tell you his story. He's gonna love talking about it, especially if you're just smiling along the way and you're asking some pretty good questions and you seem interested in that conversation. I promise you, it's gonna make his day, and he's gonna think you're the nicest guy alive. And he's never going to shut up about it. And hopefully you get free ice cream from that conversation. But that is not guaranteed. But what I can guarantee you is that people are definitely going to think that you're a great conversationalist. Anyways, that was episode number 8. As always, if you haven't already, please hit that like button for me and hit subscribe on the channel. That's really the only thing that I ask of you guys to do. And I hope you have a great day. This is Yusha signing out. Take care.